So in huge breaking news, the judge in Virginia has absolutely destroyed AH by unsealing so many documents pertaining to this case. What's hilarious about this is that this is AH and her attorney Elaine's fault. They decided they wanted to go on a mass media tour. They wanted to call this judge out, saying that this judge wouldn't give them due process or a fair trial. They wouldn't let them put on that trial and show all their evidence. Well, the judge said, hey, you know what? I want to unseal absolutely everything. AH and Elaine, they begged the judge not to do it. They said, no, we need to keep a few things hidden in the dark. The judge said, denied, baby, denied. I love the judge's answer to this, too, because the judge said that these type of records, they are public information. And that's the truth, by the way. All the dirty tricks, all of the ugliness that she pulled, it's going to come into the light. You and I, we're going to talk about this today, too. Oh, fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. Oh, man. So, hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. And talk about an absolute bombshell that obliterates all of AH and Elaine's talking points. Like I was saying before, they went on a mass media tour saying that they didn't get due process. The judge wouldn't let them show off their information. That included their mental health records with their therapist. Well, the judge is now saying, you know what? You get to share all of that stuff. Even stuff that AH tried to say, that's sensitive. I don't want to show that anymore. The judge says, yeah, you know what? You can show that too. Here's the order, and it makes a lot of sense. The protective order. Now, the protective order was something they were trying to extend, by the way. That's what they were saying. We need it extended. Well, the protective order in this matter, it was put in place to, number one, to protect sensitive information. There's only specific sensitive information that needs to be protected there as well. And number two, and this was their big talking point, one that AH was saying over and over again, this was going to go wrong if we didn't lock things down. That was to ensure an untainted jury. They were saying, people like myself, if we got to see documents and we talked about them, we couldn't get a fair trial. So the judge locked it down, saying, it is my intention in the aftermath to unlock absolutely everything. In this matter, she continues, both litigants, and that's very important too, because AH was a party in this. They weren't just being sued, but they were suing as a party too. So both litigants, they sued one another, thereby opening themselves up to the public forum of a jury trial. And that's absolutely correct too. This stuff, no matter what the media says, this is supposed to be a public forum. We are supposed to be able to see what's going on, and that's what we got here. Court records, it continues, are public information. And that is absolutely right. Even though AH kept coming after my channel and other channels because we were talking about court records, these things are public information. They belong to you and I. We should be able to see them. As she says here, the case, it is now concluded, and therefore the court carefully reviewed all documents that were filed under seal, it appearing to the court that certain filings in this matter should be unsealed. So she went through everything. She said the case is done. Some of this stuff, it shouldn't belong under lock and seal. It's not sensitive enough, and you're going to use it in appeals. Yeah, the judge is saying, you know what? I'm going to unlock quite a few things. People are going to see exactly who you are. Now, some of this stuff is going to be good, too. I know number 15, for example, is going to be interesting. Why? Because it's about yours truly. That's right. Listen to this here. And we've seen some of this document, a redacted version, but we didn't get exhibits. We didn't get to see all of that. And I'm telling you, they were talking about me here. How do I know it? Because Eve Barlow ended up leaking a bunch of this, talking about it on social media, and it ended up getting leaked to other people that were in that circle as well. But you had AH file an emergency motion for a protective order to protect all individuals attending deposition of defendant, including all exhibits. So you can see the file date. I know by that file date what that was. I had AH and I had Eve Barlow come at my channel hard right then, and they were quoting redacted versions of this. Now, Now we get to see it all. We get to see her try to go in and try to pull JD's devices. She retaliated against him, trying to get his items. You know, the items that, well, he wasn't involved in the court with at all. But she said, you know, I want you to pull up all of your original devices. I want you to pull up all your systems, all of your backups and on. Why? Because you made me do that. Therefore, I'm going to force you to do it too. You have so many other things like this. This is just one page of stuff, by the way. And that includes, interestingly enough, expert witnesses. We're going to see items from expert witnesses that we weren't privy to. You know, some of their rulings, some of the statements that they made. We get to see how nasty that she was when she tried to go after JD, ordering independent medical examinations while also going after his medical records up until the date of the trial. Now, in addition to her going after his information and him trying to and eventually shutting this down, you can see where she tries to keep him from going through her information as well. All of those pictures that she had, all of that data that she presented, he wanted to see whether those pictures, they were real or not. Well, you can see her trying to keep that from coming up. And she does this quite a bit, by the way. I mean, she gets nasty about it. But look at all this stuff here. I mean, we are talking about pages and pages of items. Pages of items that are probably going to tell you some fascinating stuff. Like, again, here, plaintiff's designation or identification of his expert witnesses, including exhibits. So we're going to get to see those exhibits in paperwork. We don't get to see them, you know, where they're presented, where we have to rush through them. We can actually look through those in our time. We can take our time and look through everything that they said. And on top of that, some questions that we had, they're finally going to be answered. Like why the data expert for JD, why that person, they were attacked again and again. You can see she tried to exclude their testimony, went after them over and over. Plus, on top of that, you have further orders for attachments that were taken out. You actually get to see those attachments, those exhibits. There's quite a few. I mean, we are talking about over 60 items that the judge has ruled on. So, I mean, this stuff, like I said, it wrecks AH. AH didn't want anything coming out. They wanted to get to pick and choose stuff. And the judge said, you know what? I'm the one who gets to choose. Maybe, just maybe, there's a lesson in this too. Maybe you shouldn't call out a judge. Maybe you shouldn't say that judge didn't give you a fair, impartial trial. Maybe you shouldn't insult the jury. But hey, what do I know? I'm not an expert like Elaine and AH, right? But anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff. It is amusing too. You'll hear me laughing sometimes here. I can't help it. But let me know what you think. And as always, appreciate you. You make this stuff worthwhile. Thank you. Want to help out the channel? There are links in the description. Check those out. They definitely help. You being here, though, biggest help of all. So thank you. Appreciate you stopping here. See you soon.